What's up? Happy Sunday. Namaste. Hello, 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 and welcome. Oh, it's so nice to be here with you. Happy Sunday. If we haven't met before, my name is Kaylin, and every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, I join you here on YouTube Live to do a meditation together. Each week I pick a theme. And today's theme is deep breaths. So many of us go through our lives more or less unaware of how are we breathing, how are we feeling, or whether it's just something that happens. But when we consciously connect with the breath and make it an intentional gesture, then magical things can happen. And so today, my goal for you is to develop a stronger connection, a stronger awareness of how am I breathing, how am I feeling, how am I doing, and can I engage in some deeper breath work. Hey, welcome. So I invite you, grab some floor, grab a chair, like my cat is doing, napping comfortably over there, or lay down, do whatever you want to do. If you're new to deep belly breathing down here, laying down on your back actually may be really beneficial. Welcome from Puerto Vallarta, one of my favorite places. We'll probably be back there for Christmas and New Year's. All right, so get comfy, settle in. I'm going to recommend that you're going to want to use your hands at some point, either now or in a few moments, probably placing your hands on your abdomen or on your belly, deeper down. Hey, from India, welcome. Been to India many times. Namaste. And we're going to start by just noticing how are we breathing right now. Notice how the breath feels. Notice if the inhale or the exhale feels easier or more prominent. Notice the rate at which you're breathing. Notice if the inhale or exhale feels longer. Notice how your relationship with your breath just feels in general at this moment. And if you haven't yet, now might be a really good time to bring your hands onto your belly. Give it a go. See how that feels. Now, if you're able to hear me breathing, I'm doing something called Ujjayi pranayama, where there's a slight restriction in my vocal cords, creating a sound as I breathe in and out. So if you want to give that a go, that can be a nice way to become more aware of how you're breathing. And with your hands on your abdomen, I want to see if you can feel a little bit of motion going on underneath your hands, so that as you breathe in, the belly, the ribcage starts to expand up and out into your hands. On the exhale, there's a deflation. Everything starts to move in towards your spine, towards the back, feeling down towards whatever's beneath you. For some people, breathing deep into their belly can feel impossible. We store a lot of emotional trauma around this area, and so if you're not accustomed to breathing low, it can feel very foreign and very difficult to do. One of the tricks that can be really helpful is to just silently say to yourself, soft belly, soft belly, soft belly, inviting it to open and close effortlessly. Getting the diaphragm, the muscle that runs underneath the ribs, all the way, cutting across the rib cage. Inviting it to move more unobstructedly. Pulling down as you inhale. Exhaling, releasing. And our goal isn't to try and force a deeper, slower breath. Our goal is to just invite something more open to occur. So I don't want to feel you muscling your way through this. I instead want you to relax into it. Release into a deeper breath. Full inhale. Full exhale. Now ideally, as we get going with this, the inhale and the exhale take up about the same amount of time. So if you're breathing in for 6 seconds, you breathe out for 6 seconds. And again, ideally, and it's okay if it's not the case today, but ideally, it's even from beginning to end. So as you breathe in and breathe out, it moves with an equal intensity throughout the inhale and throughout the exhale. You'll notice sometimes when you watch people breathe, and that's an interesting thing to do if you haven't, just sit there and watch how somebody's breathing, because it will tell you a lot about their emotional state. You'll see them do this, where they have like a great rush, and then it slows. Or, same thing. Nice and even. If you've ever sat along the shoreline of the ocean, you'll notice when the waves come in, they come in nice and smooth, they crest, they move nice and slowly back out. So we wanted to mimic the flow of nature, right? We're natural creatures, we're part of the cycles of life. How does nature move? It moves usually with constant steady rhythms, in and out. An easy undulation. And notice how you start to feel as you start to breathe more slowly and more deeply, as you're inviting more oxygen, yes, but also more life force. It's called prana. More life force into your being. Now, if you're not used to deep breathing, sometimes you start to feel a little bit lightheaded. That's okay. I also just want to point out, this is considered an ideal way of breathing, yes. But you do not want to walk around your whole day doing like this isn't meant to be an all-day thing. You want to do a focused period on breathing, and then let it go. It should, over time, start to change your connection and your awareness. Hey to England, welcome. Change your awareness, change your relationship with your breath so that you encounter it differently. You're more aware of it, you breathe better, generally speaking, throughout the day, but it's not meant to be something that you force. I lived with someone when I was in the ashram, and it was, it was so annoying how he would just walk around everywhere. And I was like, dude, just relax. Just relax. You don't need to be that intense. Just take it down a notch. Every day, everywhere I went. Just be easy with this. Be easy with everything in your spiritual practice. If you ever find yourself applying too much force in any direction, even if it's quote unquote something positive, no bueno, not good. We want to allow things to be easy, gentle. Because what happens is when we try to employ a lot of force, we try to make things happen, we build tension. If you've ever thrown a bouncy ball, because we all have, basketball, any kind of something that will bounce, what happens? You throw it down, it launches back up in the air with an equal amount of force. Every action has an opposite and equal reaction. It's one of the first laws of physics we learn when we're growing up and in school. And this applies to everything. And so if you go into your meditation or you go into anything in life with a lot of force, there's going to be an equal amount of pressure pushing back against you. And this is why so many people try to make changes in their life and they don't see change happening, right? Like, I'm going to make this thing happen and I'm going to through it. Well, then the universe pushes back with an equal amount of force. I know I spent much of my life feeling like I was trying to make things happen and it would feel like almost like trying to sprint into a brick wall, nothing would move. As I've gotten older, one of the things I've really started to come to appreciate more and more is that when I find ease, when I find relaxation, and I move forward, there's not that same force pushing back. So instead of slamming that ball into the floor because you want it to hit the ground, but then it bounces back with equal force, if we gently just set the ball on the ground, there's no reciprocal reaction. And so too with our breathing, with our spiritual practice, with anything in life, let go of that active doership, let go of making it happen, and just allow it to happen. You can't power through things, I guess. I mean, you can certainly try, and there are times where, we kind of have to burn that midnight oil to make things happen, but generally speaking, I have personally found things so much go better when I set an intention, this is what I want to accomplish, and then I let it go. I just approach it with ease, gentleness, and sustained effort. So here we are today working on deep breathing. There may be times where you have to inhale deep, and it takes a little bit of will, a little bit of effort, but then you want to let that go. Just allow the breath to happen. Invite the breath to go deeper. Invite the breath to flow more easily. Invite those things to happen. Don't make them happen. Don't muscle your way through them. And so that's why we can go back to that idea that I shared just a few minutes ago, which is bringing our hands to our ribs, to our belly, and just saying, soft belly, soft belly, soft belly. And this is why I also say let go of perfection. In an ideal world, yes, 6 seconds in, 6 seconds out, even throughout. Are most of us going to breathe that way, even when we're focusing on it? Maybe not. Maybe not. Now, I will say, today we are doing a meditation, right? With meditation, we really need to employ this effortlessness. When you're doing, let's say, pranayama, where I'm saying, okay, let's do Surya Vedana Pranayama. if we're doing a pranayama like that, then yes, we are going to ask you to push a little bit more. We're going to ask you to get maybe a little bit uncomfortable because we're trying to create an experience. This is a meditation. Right? So we want to really employ the effortless side of this. Pranayama has its place. Here we're working on the will-lessness rather than the willfulness. And so bring your hands either to your belly or onto your lap, or if you'd rather hands at heart, you of course could. You're setting the intention of I'd like to breathe deep, I'd like to connect with my breath, and then you invite it to happen. So join me now. If you want to do that vocal cord restriction like I was doing, you can, but it's not necessary. Be aware of how you're breathing. Notice how is it feeling. Invite the breath into your body like you welcome a guest to your home. Release the breath from your body like you're letting go of a friend after a wonderful visit. We breathe in with gratitude. We release with love. How does this feel? How do you feel? Open, release. Let your breath be as effortless as the tree growing. Be as effortless as your cat stretching when it wakes up in the morning. Be as effortless as hopefully the way you live your life should be. Because this space we're creating right now is a microcosm for your larger life. How you're behaving here can often be an indicator to how you're living your life as a whole. And so if you're approaching this with stress, anxiety, frustration, you're going to be carrying that into the rest of your world. So instead, can you find ease? Can you find peace? Can you find joy? Can you find love here? Can you develop a feeling of love with your breath? Find it fascinating. I've said this before and I'll say it again probably many times, but your breath is the gateway to altered states of consciousness, to a deeper experience of reality. I can remember when I was 6 years old, I was in first grade, and I was sitting at my desk, and I remember looking up and there were posters on the wall counting to like 400, showing you how you counted that high. And I suddenly just became so aware of myself breathing. And as I tuned into the breath, suddenly these just colors started moving around me and the world started spinning and this like orgasmic feeling overtook me. It was the first time I could remember having this almost out of body experience just by breathing. Our breath is the gateway to our enlightened, radiant, love-filled, ecstatic inner self. But it's not meant to be effortful, it's meant to be an easy connection. As you breathe, you can visualize breathing in through the third eye, down the throat, into the heart, into the abdomen. You can even imagine breathing all the way down into your hips, into your pelvic floor, into your sexual organs. exhale, an easy release, an offering of love to the world. Now I know you and I are currently meeting virtually. Hello screen. We're here connected through computer means, but one of the things I would often say if we were actually sitting in a room and breathing together is that for the last several minutes, I have been inhaling molecules that were formerly part of your body. And I have been exhaling molecules that were formerly part of my body, right? The byproducts of metabolism of our cells living are exhaled through our breath, through our feces, through our urine. And then you're breathing those molecules in and I'm breathing in yours. So quite literally, you and I are one. Quite literally, the parts that made up you are now turning into parts that make up me. And the molecules that made up me are now becoming the molecules that make up you. And what's even more crazy than all that is that none of these molecules are ours. When we breathe, we're letting go of molecules that have been with us for years, perhaps. I think the longest parts of our body, which are our bones, take 7 years to fully regenerate. So none of these molecules are ours. They're just on loan to us for a period of time. You are quite literally made up of entirely different things than you were a few minutes ago. Some parts of your body change over in hours, some in days, some in weeks, some in years, but you are quite physically a different person than you were 7 years ago. Just so think of that. Think of the temporality of all of this. You are not a constant being. Nothing is yours. And what's even more crazy than that is these molecules, well, the molecules do, but the atoms that make up the molecules, they are always existing. They will, after you leave your body, go become the plants outside. They have existed not only for centuries or millennia, but quite literally every single atom in your body was at one time forged in the belly of a star. Consider that. Every single molecule that makes up life on this planet, on any planet, was at one time forged in a star. You are quite literally starlight wrapped in skin. And when we connect with our breath, we connect with that ancientness that is us. When we connect with our breath, we connect with our timelessness. We connect with eternity. And as we sit with the implications that I'm breathing in and breathing out you, I'm breathing in and breathing out me, there quite literally is no me versus you, there is only us. There is the collective I, there is the collective we. And we are all one. And we can become aware of that in a logical way, considering where have our molecules been and where are they going, and we can experience in a transcendent way through connecting with the breath and having that more expansive experience of consciousness. Realizing that we are not just these bodies, we are just not these experiences we're having, but we're something so much more. I'd like to invite you to pay attention to the fact that in all this time we've been breathing today, you have not necessarily felt your breath experiencing just in your lungs. Your breath feels like it travels other places. You feel like you breathe into a bigger space than just your lungs occupy. It feels like you can breathe into the space around you. And in some traditions, that's accurate. Because we're not just breathing in oxygen, carbon dioxide, nitrogen, possibly methane, depending on where you are in your house. We're breathing in prana. We're breathing in life force, and we can breathe into a space bigger than our physical body occupies. That we, energetically speaking, are bigger than just this solid flesh. So inhale. Exhale. Breathe and be so much more than you think you are. Because in the words of Rumi, you are starlight wrapped in skin. The truth that you have been seeking has always been within. So join me in just taking a few belly breaths in silence. Enjoy it. I'm going to end. I want you to just place your hands one on top of each other in front of your heart, or at least the energetic heart, the Anahata chakra, so middle of your chest, not here. And I want you to say thank you. Thank you to your body. Thank you to your life force. Thank you to your ancestors who gave you this body in this form. Thank you to yourself for taking the time out of your busy life to come breathe with me today. Say thank you to your higher self for helping you connect to your deepest, your most open, your most authentic, real self. Thank you to life. Thank you to something greater than yourself, if you believe in that, whether that's God or the universe or Gaia or Shiva or whatever you want to call it. And I personally want to thank you. It is such a privilege and such an honor to get to share space with you. And even though we might be continents apart, right? We've got people here from England, from India, from the US, all over, right? Doesn't matter. Time and space is not as concrete as we think it is. And so I always hold the intention that even though we might be miles or kilometers apart, we are physically in the same space, in the same time right now. And even if you're watching this as a recording years later, months later, hours later, whatever, time and space isn't that concrete, right? You're here with me now. So my heartfelt thanks to you. Thank you for taking the time and blessings. Oh, my pleasure. And such an honor to get to serve you and to create community together. This community we create by sharing time and space. In Buddhism would be called one of the three jewels. Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. Sangha is community. How important to share our spiritual path with others, to share space and time with others who are walking their own journey. It really is important. So thank you for being my Sangha, for being my community. It's such a pleasure to be here with you. After you've expressed your gratitude, expressed your thanks to whoever you want to thank, just allow your hands to open up to the sky and allow that gratitude, let that thankfulness rise up and out of you, up into the heavens, up to something higher, traveling up and out. If you want to dedicate it to a person who needs love or needs healing, if you want to dedicate it to someone who's struggling, if you want to dedicate it to someone you don't know, but people who need health and blessings in general, you can. It's also considered very good to dedicate the merits of your practice to your enemies, to the people who have wronged you or have spited you, or the people who you don't like very much, because we want to resolve those bad feelings, we want to resolve those karmic tensions, and we want to help those people heal so they don't hurt others. That's very good. Bless your enemies. They should always be one of the first people you bless and thank. Bless our enemies. And hopefully we will all get to the point where we learn to love our enemies. Love them for what they teach us. Love them for how they make us grow. And eventually love them because they exist. That every sentient creature is worthy of love and respect, even the most despicable. And when we can become a true creature of love, somebody who loves not because of what someone does for us, but we just love because it is that which everyone is entitled to, we will have won. We will have won. And so that's my personal goal. When I go into spaces with people who are very different from me, who maybe make me feel a little unsafe, I try to send love. I try to love everyone as best as I'm able, and I don't always succeed, but I try. So offer that gratitude up and out to whoever you would like, whomever. Such a pleasure to get to share this time and space with you. I hope you found this useful. I'm here every Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time for meditation. So if it's something you want to come back for, please do. It's so nice to be live and get to interact with your comments. Someone earlier on, I didn't get a chance to respond, asked if I had an opinion or if I loved Naga sadhus. For those of you who don't know, Naga sadhus are the really intense yogis who you'll sometimes see pictures of, like wandering naked, covered in ash. I don't really have an opinion of them. In this lifetime, I have not ever interacted with one, so I have nothing to say on the topic. If you ever have any requests, anything you'd like me to teach a meditation class about or create an edited video about, because I do try to do one edited video a week, I am more than happy to do that. Please let me know. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can also find me on other social media platforms, Patreon, Twitter, Instagram, OnlyFans. I think that's it. I'm not on TikTok. I don't understand TikTok. For those of you who are TikTokers, congratulations. I can't figure it out. But yeah, follow me anywhere you'd like. I am going to be trying to plan in-person meditation retreats this year. So if you love joining me for meditation, please keep that in the back of your mind. I am going to try and schedule in-person ones. Woo! So be on the lookout for that. If you're not on my mailing list, please sign up, ecstaticself.com. That way you'll be sure to be notified about upcoming in-person workshops. I will, of course, post videos about it here, but that's a good thing to do just to stay in the loop. Yeah, and if you ever need anything, do not hesitate to reach out. So all my blessings to you, love to you, light to you. May you find wisdom, may you find peace, may you find love, may you find truth. May you dwell in grace, may you live in peace, may you share blessings with everyone you meet. May you be abundant, may you be well, may you be healthy, may you be a light for others, and may your light never be dimmed. Truth and blessings to you all. Thank you so much. Again, my name is Kaylin. If you ever need anything, reach out, and I hope to see you again next week. Much love, all.